Unexpectedly, everyone was cautious along the way, but they had not encountered any danger. After spending about half an hour, they finally found the source of the fragrance. It was actually a place where a rockery stones was located. The rockery stones was more than 10 feet tall and the rocks were rugged. Don't know what materials were piled up and it looked like a hole. Xianxia squinted at the rockery stones, his expression slightly moved. He found that the material of the rockery stones was actually a rare item refining material. If he took it out, he would be able to refine several powerful treasures. It's just a pity that this rockery stones is too big. I'm afraid that even if the powerful void return stage third order came, it can't be taken away, which makes people sigh. Under the rockery stones, there is a pond with an area of less than 3 feet. At this moment, the pond contains about half a finger of the pond water, and the pond water is not clear and bottomless but it shows a milky color. The scent that everyone smelled is exactly from this pool. Just above the pool water, there are still some traces of liquid flowing through, so it seems that the pool water here is obviously flowing from an unknown place. But no one tended for countless of years here, but can still accumulate such a little pool of water, and the speed of accumulation is extremely slow. This is. The old lady stared at the half-finger pool water, her face dimmed, changing from time to time, with excitement, joy, surprise and hesitation. Is this 10,000 years stalactite? He exclaimed. Really 10,000 years old stalactite? Xianxia also jumped up. Although they have never seen 10,000 years old stalactite, they have heard the name of this kind of thing. 10,000 years old stalactite is extremely rare, but it has many incredible effects. It is said that if it is used for pill refining, it can be used to refine the healing sacred medicine, which is a rare treasure for any martial artist. At the beginning, Xianxia also thought it was 10,000-year-old stalactite. After all, the appearance and shape of this pool of water are very similar to the rumors. It can be said to be almost the same, but at a closer look, he also feels that something is not right because the color of 10,000, the color of the year stalactite is rumored to be a hint of pale gold in the milky white, but this pool of water is only milky white. If it's not 10,000 years old stalactite, what is it? Although Xianxia is an alchemy expert and has read a lot of ancient books about medicinal herbs and pill recipes, he don't think that he can identify the world's medicine. He could not help but look at the old woman, hoping she can recognize it. The old woman's expression was constantly changing, and after thinking a lot she exhaled softly and said, whether it is a 10,000-year-old stalactite or not, I will know it after a try. With that said, put a finger directly, dip it into the pool of water, and put it in her mouth. At the next moment, the old woman's eyes were suddenly rounded, and an unpredictable power of chi and blood force suddenly burst out from her aging body, and the old face turned red like weeping blood. Visible to the naked eye, the wrinkles on her face began to diminish, and her waist gradually straightened. No more than a dozen breaths of time. The old woman's expression returned to the same as before, but at the moment she is very different from before. She seemed to be a lot younger. Although she still looked like an old woman, she was much better than before. The 3 Saint Kings looked stunned. The old lady also couldn't believe her changes. She quickly took a mirror from the space ring and placed it in front of her eyes. She stroked her cheek with her hands, and after seeing how her appearance changed, tears flickered in her old eyes and her body trembled violently. Xianxia and the other 3 did not bother her, but stood by and waited for her to calm down, expecting her to give an explanations. It took a while for the old lady to laugh out loud and gently nodded. It turns out so. Senior, what kind of medicine is this? It has such a magical effect. He anxiously asked. What a good medicine. The old lady glanced at him. This is not a good medicine. This is a treasure that is hard to find and has disappeared. When she said this, Xianxia frowned slightly. Saint Yuan was secretly urged, ready to shoot at any time. The so-called man died for wealth and the bird died for food. Although this old woman showed her favors along the way, if the things in front of her are too expensive, it is impossible to guarantee that the other party will not have the idea of killing and stealing treasure. With the 4 people here, her strength is the biggest and respected. Judging from her reaction just now, such a pool of water is enough for her to take risks. Xianxia even saw a strange flash in her eyes. The other party obviously had this thought in mind, but he didn't know why, and she didn't do it in the end. After Kai's repeated inquiries, she slowly said, "Have you heard the rumors of 3 great divine waters in Star Territory?" 3 great divine waters. Kai and Du Cici were confused. Yang Kai was slightly moved. It seems that little friend Yang has heard it. The old woman looked at Yang Kai with a smile. "Occasionally, I just don't know what these 3 great divine waters are," Yang Kai answered honestly. He has indeed heard of the 3 great divine waters, which he heard about in the flowing flame sand field. Soul-cleansing divine water is one of them. Soul-cleansing divine water can wash the divine soul of martial artist, which makes the divine consciousness cultivation level increase. However, the birth conditions of this divine water and its difficulties are that there must first exist things like Spirit Spring, Spirit Eye, and then there must be a Void King realm dying in the vicinity. Only after undergoing countless years of transformation can we have the opportunity to form a soul-cleansing divine water. At that time, in the flowing flame sand field, Jiang Kai got a lot of benefits from the soul-cleansing divine water. Eventually, Mild Soul Lotus evolved into a colorful color, and Life Lotus secret technique was born. At that time, he heard people talk about the 3 great divine waters, and he was going back to ask Yang Yan, but he forgot. Now listening to the old lady talking about the 3 great divine waters, Jiang Kai naturally paid attention. "Is this one of the 3 great divine waters?" Yang Kai asked in surprise. "Yes, if the old lady is not wrong, this is the life growth wine cream of the 3 great divine waters." The old woman snorted. Life growth wine cream. The 3 Saint King stages are all moving, although it is not clear how precious this life growth wine cream is, but since they are known as the 3 great divine waters in the Star Territory, and have witnessed the changes of the old woman, the 3 of them know that it is indeed an invaluable treasure. Hee hee. The old lady chuckled. "We are really lucky, we can find life growth wine cream here. This is a rare opportunity that could happen once, for hundreds of thousands of years." "Senior, what's the use of life growth wine cream?" Kai he asked excitedly. "There are countless magical effects. Of course, the biggest use is to enhance the strength of the martial artist chi and blood force, and even extend the life of the martial artist." The old lady just tasted it a little bit, and I feel that I am a few years younger. Even regaining youth is not an extravagant expectation. Compared to the 10,000-year-old stalactite, I don't know how much higher its grade is. The old lady said that, and her expression had become extremely excited. Because of her own aptitude, she has stuck on the Void Return stage first order for so many years. Seeing that life essence is not much, she feels that her cultivation in this life can only stop there. Where did she know that this time she can found life growth wine cream here? In this way, she can not only regain her youthful appearance but also greatly extend her lifespan. She has a lot of time to break through her own bottleneck. Maybe she has a chance to stand at the peak of the shadowed star. Listening to her explanation, how could Yang Kai and others not know the value of this life growth wine cream? On the shadowed star, the cultivation of the martial artist can only reach the Void Return stage third order, and the lifespan is also limited to the apex of this realm. Many of the brilliant and glamorous generations are depressed and unable to break through their own shackles. Being able to get some life growth wine cream which increased lifespan can help them get what they want. Once such a thing leaks out, I am afraid that it will cause a mad robbery of the entire shadowed star powerhouse. Thinking of this, all 4 were silent. The old lady glanced at the 3 juniors and said, "I hope you can keep your mouth shut. Even if you return to your family, it is best not to let irrelevant people know." Younger people understand. Kai and Du Cici echoed in unison. Yang Kai also nodded. He knew that this matter is very important, so he didn't want to cause any trouble for himself. "By the way, senior, you just said the 3 great divine waters, and what are the other 2? Kai he asked with humility. Of course, he was unwilling to let go of such a long-time insight. Although the 3 great divine waters are extremely difficult to obtain, but since they can get this one, maybe they will have the opportunity to get the other 2 in the future. That is the case, the old woman said. The other two are equally valuable, and they are 100,000 years old treasures. One of them is the soul-cleansing divine water. I heard that this kind of thing appeared once a few years ago. It has appeared. Kaihi and Du Cece exclaimed. And it appeared in the flowing flame sand field. If you didn't go in, you shouldn't have known about it. Unfortunately, Void Return Stage can't set foot to the flowing flame sand field, otherwise the old lady may have a chance to get one or two. What about the last one? Du Cece asked. The last one. It's the undying source liquid. The old lady looked fascinated and said slowly, the soul-cleansing divine water can help the martial artist wash the divine soul and improve the divine consciousness cultivation level, while life growth wine cream can increase life essence to enhance the power of chi and blood force, but this undying source liquid can help the martial artist to strengthen the physical strength. It is the best treasure for refining the physical body. If the opportunity is there, the rumored divine tri can be refined into the body, and will be able to achieve undying indestructible body. Eternal divine tree. Xianxia's expression moved, listening to the old lady saying that the undying source liquid can temper the flesh body, and he was very excited. Although he had a set of 5 elements indestructible sword body tempering cultivation technique in his hands and able to achieve undying and indestructible body, but he has never practiced it. After all, who knows the effect, and he still lacks 2 of the 5 elements. It is not that simple to get together. And this eternal divine tree actually has this miracle effect. Of course, he took interest. It's just that he is not clear what is the relationship between eternal divine tree and undying source liquid, but since the old lady mentioned it, there must be a reason. To be continued.